Hello and welcome all to this new exciting Salesforce Wisdom video. In this video, we are going to talk about Salesforce career paths. Now, I'm going to show you two diagrams, which most of you have seen. And if you have not seen, you can visit Salesforce certification website and you would see these pyramids. So first one, like technical architect talks about, someone who wants to write a hands-on code or who likes, technical stuff and all of that. This is the something, highest certification that you could achieve. They also call it as a CTA, Certified Technical Architect. And this is the solution architectural, a path where, it is for someone who likes to write code, but not that much, but who believes in, doing pre-sales or solutioning or designing kind of stuff. That's where solution architect comes into the picture. Now, this is at a very high level. Salesforce has described this, certification path to go to this kind of a certification and to go to this career progression. But now in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bifurcate at a very simple layers. So the person who is starting in the career in Salesforce or the person who is in between his careers can easily understand what the different progression in his or her career they can go for. Let's talk about this diagram. Now I have started with Salesforce developer or Salesforce admin. Now let's differentiate between the roles. So you can start with your career as a Salesforce developer or Salesforce admin. Now what does developer do? Developer is someone who will write hands-on code, be it be Apex, Lightning Web Components, triggers, schedulers, batch classes, etc. And admin is someone, who will most of the time he will do, the configuration, whether it could be creation of object, creating the fields, writing flows, writing processes, writing validation rules and all of that. So it is more of a config versus customization. So developer would be more focused on the customization, though he will also help in the configuration. But admin is something who will be mainly focused on in-house org activities plus configuration. Now let's look at that Salesforce developer career progression. Salesforce developer, you can jump into Salesforce senior developer. There are roles, who demands 5 to 6 or more years of experience into the development, because with experience, you get that maturity, you get that hands-on knowledge. So that's the next role that you can look for. Then you can move to Salesforce tech lead, where, you will lead the code reviews, you will lead the technical team, you'll help them to, understand the best practices around the coding, how to get rid of the governor limits by using best practices or optimizing the code and all of that. And then you can move to the Salesforce technical architect, which is the highest kind of certification as well as the career role that you can achieve. The Salesforce technical architect is quite established person, who understand that overall Salesforce ecosystem and solutioning and designing and the coding best practices also. Now let's come to the Salesforce admin part. So if you are not someone who wants to or who likes to write code and who is coming from non-coding background, non-engineering background, I don't mean that a person who is not from engineering background can't go into the developer. You can go to the developer provided that you have good programming knowledge, or you can learn programming skills and move to the development path. Now let's say Salesforce admin can go for two different paths. He can become a Salesforce business analyst, or he can become Salesforce consultant. Now, what is the difference between Salesforce consultant and business analyst? A lot of the organization, a business analyst will do the requirement translation kind of a work. He will be allies between the stakeholders and the developers or the admins, and he will translate the business requirements into the functional requirement document. Salesforce consultant, on the other hand, in a lot of organizations, Salesforce consultant is a senior admin or the in-house person who is taking care of the org and all of that. Salesforce business analyst can move towards the project manager or a program manager role. Project manager comes first, where you can typically do the program management while having the Salesforce knowledge. You can better manage that project, and then you can later move on to the program manager role also. Now, Salesforce consultant could move towards the Salesforce techno consultant or technical consultant role is there, functional consultant role is there, and there's something called as a techno function who has understanding of or hands-on of system as well as a good functional knowledge, and it comes with experience. And that same person can move towards Salesforce solution architect role, because Salesforce solution architect does require knowledge of both hands-on technical stuff as well as the business knowledge and the functional knowledge, as well as the design knowledge. So at an overall, you could start with Salesforce developer or Salesforce admin, and you could move towards the different career paths. So I hope this clarifies a lot of doubts. If you have any question, please comment on this video and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you for watching this video.